Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Smith's Tropical Paradise. Can I get one big aloha? Aloha! Alrighty, I'm going to take a little trip around the garden, give you a little preview about the plant life here, the animals live here on the property, a little history about the Smith business, and some fun facts about the island of Kauai. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Alright, to the right of us, we have a beautiful orange flower. That is a Dwarf Poinciana flower, the Ohialii in Hawaiian, or commonly known as the peacock flower. And to the left, we have another beautiful flower, the Plumeria flower. Very popular flower here in Hawaii. You may have seen them commonly with making blades. Now coming up here on our right, the big yellow building is the Luau Hale. Luau means feast, Hale means house. This is where you guys are going to have your dinner later on this evening. Buffet style, all you can eat and all you can drink. And to the left, we have another yellow building. We call that the Leaky Leaky Hotel. When you have too much drinky, go to Leaky Leaky. Alrighty, coming up here on the right across the lagoon is our Japanese themed island. One way to get onto the island is the bright red bridge off to the right. That is where we host most of our weddings here on the property. And if you look off into the distance, you will see a mountain. That mountain is called the Sleeping Giant. If you have a good enough imagination, you can see the profile of a giant laying on its back looking skywards. You would have to start at the peak of the mountain, which is the giant's forehead. Then go up to the right, which is the bridge of the nose, and it goes up into the crevice of the mouth and into the giant's body. Very popular hiking spot for you hikers out there. To the left, the brown building is the Lagoon Theater. This is where you guys are going to have your show portion of the evening. The show is called The Golden People of Hawaii. The Lagoon Theater is open seating. Every seat is the best seat in the house. And also, a little fun fact about the show, we have the only active volcano on the island, which you can see on the left. Now, speaking of the island, Kauai, nicknamed the Garden Isle. We get that nickname for having the green plant life you see around us. We can't get that plant life without the rain. You may have heard this past weekend that Honolulu was closed due to a big flood from the rain from the previous night. That's normally how much rain we get. But we get a lot more rain in the center of the island, where a mountain lies, Mount Waialeale. That is the source of all the water here on the island, known for being one of the wettest spots on Earth, breaking a Guinness Book of World Records for housing over 400 to 500,000 inches of rain in 1 year. Now, speaking of the rain, on a show of hands, have any of you seen the very first Jurassic Park? Right, most of you, should be all of you, but most of you have seen it. If you guys didn't know, that movie was filmed here on the island during one of the biggest hurricanes in Hawaii history, Hurricane Ibiki. They didn't want to waste any time, their money, so it was rumored that they filmed some of the rain scenes during the hurricane. A lot of different movies filmed on the islands. Some of the notable ones I'd like to mention: Pirates of the Caribbean, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Outbreak, Tropic Thunder, South Park, and of course Blue Hawaii, starring the one and only Elvis Presley. And of course, how can I forget one of my personal favorite movies of all time, Lilo and Stitch. The town of Lilo and Stitch is based off the town Hanapepe, which is on the west side of the island. Now coming up here on our left, we have a bundle, or we have a taro patch. The root of the taro is what used to make poi. Now on a show of hands, have any of you tried poi? I've got a couple of you, alright, look at you. Even better question, on a show of hands, did you like trying poi? Alright, we have 3 people on our tram tour that are liars. I don't like liars on my tour. I'm gonna have to ask you to step. I'm just kidding. The common answer is nobody likes poi. Even the people that live here, such as myself, don't like it. It's kind of a very acquired taste actually. Kind of uses a dipping sauce for something that's more tastier, like a Kahlua pig and lomi lomi salmon. Alright, to the right, we have the bundle of the same tree. That is the apple banana tree. And to the left, we have the star tree and a coffee plant. The star tree houses a very tasty sweet star apple. And to the right, we have a strawberry guava tree. That is the tree with the dark green leaves. A lot of different fruits growing here on the property. Like on the left, we have jackfruit growing here on the tree. To the right, we have a mountain apple tree, one of my personal favorites. It's right beside the Filipino hut. To the right, we have an avocado tree as well. We also have a bunch of different flowers here on the property. I didn't mention the Ohialii and the Plumeria flower in the beginning, but some of the notable ones I'd like to mention. We have the spider lily, which is one of my personal favorites. It's a white flower with the long droopy petals that grow alongside the lagoon area. We also have the crown flower. They grow at the beginning parts of the gardens. It's another white flower, kind of resembles a crown. And lastly, we have the How flower. They don't grow here on the property. They actually grow right next to the property on the sides of the Waialua River. The reason I like to mention this one is because it's the only flower to have a 1-day life cycle, which means they bloom in the morning, then die at night. Alright, now we're gonna talk a little bit about the Smith business. Smith, not a Hawaiian last name. I know you guys confused that. Let me tell you a little story. Oh, to the right we have the Hawaii state bird, the Nene geese. That is the Hawaii state bird. They come out every once in a while on special occasions for special people such as yourselves. Alright, back to the Smith business. Smith, not a Hawaiian last name. I know you guys confused that. Let me tell you the story though. Great-great-grandpa Smith came down to the island of Kauai, fell in love with a Hawaiian woman and started the Smith touring business, where great-great-grandpa Smith took a handful of people up on his little rowboat up the Waialua River to see the Fern Grotto. Now later on he developed the idea to lure up because the state did not want to take care of the animals here on the property anymore, such as, you may have saw him earlier on the tour, the peacock. The male has the beautiful feathers that they're known for, the females do not. They use those feathers to attract the female. We have ducks. We have a family of ducks actually waddling around the property with his little ducklings, if you're lucky enough to see them. We have chickens here on the property, of course. And we also have our fan favorite goat on the left. Just waiting for you guys to say hello. He's super friendly. You can pet him. You can feed him with the grass that's growing alongside the fence line. I just ask that you guys do not put your hand right by its mouth when it's eating. Because the last person to do that, well, he doesn't have a hand anymore. We don't want that to happen to you, so please don't do it. Alright, coming up here to our right, we have a beautiful red flower here in the bushes. That is the hibiscus flower. They come in 3 different colors: red, white, and yellow. The yellow hibiscus flower is the Hawaii state flower. Now sadly, we're coming up on the end of our tour. I'd like you to come into Smith Tropical Paradise. Next stop is the Imu ceremony. That's where they take the pig out of the underground oven. That's been sitting there around 9 hours. That'll start around 6. Straight up ahead of us is an orchid house full of different beautiful orchids. If that's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to check it out. I do ask that you guys close the door on your way in and out. You may disembark to your right. Thank you guys again, and aloha.